Welcome back to Country Lifestyle. This is William Kemeni, and today we'll talk about the 5 questions you should ask yourself to find out who you are. The road to success is paved in many steps, and the most important step of all is find out who you are. And because if you don't know who you are, you will not know who you will become. Okay? And I'll tell you a little story of how I found out who I am and what I will become and how I plan on getting there. Okay? These are just little hints. So right now, the country is on quarantine nationwide, just as many other countries. And when the quarantine started, I started working from home. So I've been working from home since March 18th, 2020. And from there, we were on quarantine for a period of 2 months. And I've been asking myself questions. I was trying to find out, what will I do? What will I become? Just staying at home, will I just work my regular 9 to 5 job until the end of quarantine? How will I live with my family? Okay, do I want to become the same regular Joe? Being confined at home on the first week reminded me of a lesson I learned in a bio class: how a butterfly is formed. Commonly, we know that a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, but did you know that there are 4 stages to that transformation? And it's very important to note it because those transformations are very similar to those of a human being's life. Here are the stages. Stage 1 is the egg, okay? And then it goes on to stage 2, which is the caterpillar. And the caterpillar's job is to eat. So he roams around and just starts eating. And one day he just stops eating, hangs upside down on the tree leaf or tree twig, and starts manufacturing silk and produce silk around his body, just twist around to form a protective shell called the cocoon or chrysalis. That chrysalis is where all the magic happens. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar will use all of the elements within its body to radically transforms itself into the 4th stage, which is a butterfly. And these are the 4 stages of how to become a butterfly. This is how these stages apply to those of a human being. Stage 1, we mentioned the egg. That represents infancy. Stage 2, the caterpillar, which represents childhood. And if you have children at home, then you know, because they absorb a lot, not only in food, but also in knowledge. And we go to stage 3, the chrysalis, which I like to think of as the most important stage. And it also is the adulthood for human being. And that's where you are an apprentice of life. You learn to apply your acquired skills and knowledge to your real lifetime situations, okay? And we jump to stage 4, the butterfly, which represents the accomplished individual, the successful person, right? The person who achieved their goals and leaves them. So the question you might want to ask yourself is, how do I become a butterfly, right? How do I become a better person? How do I become a better version of myself? How do I succeed? How do I become an accomplished individual, right? Okay, because these are the questions I was asking myself a couple of weeks ago. And now I'll list the 5 questions. And before we do, I invite you to pause the video and take some notes. You should do this exercise every day. And I encourage you to do this exercise every day until you reach your goals, because answering these questions changed my life drastically. Question number 1. Who are you? Okay, so here you write down anything you know about yourself, okay? But you categorize them in your passion, your profession, and what type of person you are, okay? So for your profession, if you are employed, you can write down, if you're a dentist, you can write down, I'm a dentist, I'm a driver, I'm a pension analyst. Write it down. For your passion, you write down what you like to do. Okay, I like to play video games. I am a golfer. I like to read. So that's your passion. Okay, and also write what type of person you are. You like to help people, and or you are an optimistic person. You are an introvert or an extrovert. So whatever you see yourself as, you can write it down. I usually prefer 5 entries per item, but you can go as much as you want, as much as you can feel. And now that's your first question. Okay. Question number 2, what are you planning to become? So what will you become? Okay, so what do you want, aspire to be? So you like to become a writer, for example. We'll take that. Okay, and you say, I would like to write a book. So you'll become a writer. If you like to cook and you like to cook, you'll become a chef. And be specific. I would like to write a book about fantasy in a different world that will be named this. Okay, I would like to be a chef in a 5-star hotel. I would like to be a farmer in this country, such and such. There you go. And that takes us to number 3. How are you planning to get there? Let's use the same example of writing a book. How am I planning to write an entire book without experience? So what do? You plan ahead before going to bed to write the task I'll do every day, and each day write 1 chapter. So if you have 5 chapters to write your book, you have 5 days to write your book, and name the chapters ahead before you even write the book. Okay, that takes us to number 4. How long will it take you to get to your goal? So with the same example, it's simple. If your book is 5 chapters, or let's say 100 chapters, so you write 100 chapters, and then it'll take you 100 days. Make sure to be specific, because these are goals that you will apply. This is what you will do to become successful. So you write realistic stuff. If you know there are some days you don't work, you don't do anything, so that's 6 days, right? But if you like to go faster and better, and work on yourself every day, but it's not obligated. And that takes us to number 5, which is, why do you want to change? You need to know why. Just imagine you would like to play soccer for the best team for your country, right? But why do you want to do it? Just because you like kicking a ball, or do you want to do it for glory? You want to do it to score for your country, to give that championship to your country. You need a reason. So if you go with the same example again, if it's writing a book, I'd like to write a book that will help solve poverty. Okay, so we talk about, you have to be specific on what you want to do and why. That's very important. So these are the 5 questions you need to ask yourself every day, and that will definitely change your life. I'm really happy to do this exercise with you, because I get to share how these questions changed my life. Okay, I'll show you how they apply to me. When I was confined, I'm still confined, but when I was there at home sitting, it took me 2 hours to answer all those questions. And honestly, I'm really happy I did it. So this is how I answered them. The first question, who are you? After entering tons of items, I end up finding out that I'm a dreamer. So who is William Kemeni? William Kemeni is a dreamer, because I had dreams. A dream of going back and have a business in Cameroon. I dreamed of starting a consulting firm in Toronto. Okay, I dream of having an African mall in Canada. Anywhere where we have a congregation of African communities. So these are all dreams. So it makes me a dreamer. And question number 2, what will I become? What will William Kemeni become? For this case, I chose the quarantine. So I gave myself some time to think of what I will become at the end of a quarantine. I always wanted to be a YouTuber, but I give the excuse of not having enough time to become a YouTuber. So I wrote down I'll be a YouTuber. I didn't even know how I'll get there, but I just wrote down I'll become a YouTuber by the end of the quarantine. And that was 2 weeks ago. And today I'm here already delivering material. Okay? How did I answer question number 3? How am I planning to achieve my goal? So I went online, I went on YouTube to watch other YouTubers. And I ordered my equipment and anything else that will help me set up the camera and shoot videos. I learned how to improve my communication skills, and it's a daily exercise that I keep on doing. So for example, I put a pencil between my tongue, my lips, and I speak with a pencil in my mouth for 5 minutes every day. That's one example of how I'm planning to get what I'm doing, what step I do to get there. And I also plan my days. I take 15 to 20 minutes every night to write down what I would like to do the next day, what I'll talk about, to write my contents for the next video or the future videos. Okay? How do I answer number 4, which is how long will it take? And again, in this case, I chose the quarantine. I gave myself 2 weeks, but I said I'll shoot for 1 month because the quarantine we were told to stay at home for a month. So I say, what do you do every day? And I said, I'll write a content for each day of the week. So I have about a content for 30 days as of now. And I keep on writing, keep on changing narratives, okay? And everything that I read online, every book that I read also changes the way I think, and I get to update my material, okay? And I connect with my team, I speak with my team every day to make sure that the target is reached on a daily basis. So that's question 4. And the 5th question, why do you want to change? Why do you want to become a YouTuber? And that's very simple. Being a YouTuber was my passion. My passion is to share the skills that I learned to other people. I like to help people, and also I like to communicate. I like to speak. I like to learn from others, because you learn 90% of the material that you teach. So the more I motivate people around me, the more I am motivated, and the people around me also motivate me. So this is substantial toward my goal. So you should have realistic goals. This is how those 5 questions changed my life. I'm sure you already know this. We are confined, but our mind is not. And this quarantine is an opportunity to work on ourselves and our goals. And so thank you for watching this video till the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this with anyone you think will benefit from doing this exercise. And if you have anything else that any questions that will help us succeed, please don't forget to mention it in the comments. I'll join you there. This is just the beginning. I'll get better, and because that's my goal, I'll make sure to provide you with better content. Thank you for watching.